And now, Energy's Us Production presents Pittsburgh Poltergeister Prattle. Today's episode, Saviorly Circuitry and Action. Hello, welcome back. Thanks for watching. Excuse my out of breath. Protocol and parts list, Saviorly Circuitry, the physics of. Basic diagram, quantum energy, divine data circuit. Sun is an orb capacitor. Moon, intense sympathetic vibrator. Earth, sympathetic vibrator, singularity point. Orb, colossum, capacitance, gap. We have magnet and sound based ophir, sympathy, osphere, symphosphere, cymatosphere. Model of a human. Outer human, toroidal convex input crown, that would be in here. Halo on savior. Skin, electric galvanic, it's called. Melanin would be the magnetic. Its construct would be crystal on one side. Hydrogen, oxygen at the quietest frequency on Earth in the periodical table. And another crystal on the other side, a radio on each side with a quiet part in the middle. Throne adapter. Your porcelain you sit on is a superconductor. Better now than it used to be. For every action, there's a reaction. If you're outputting, then you're going to take something in. We assume you'll get some plasma in there. And also the methane you excrete, the H2 molecule is also at 1420 in the methane. It's in the methane. A toroidal convex output ground would be your foot. A urine would be your read-all, kind of like looking at your photos before you delete them. This is the common symbol for ground, the U plus 23Da I mentioned earlier. Other outer human parts that would affect your circuitry would be scalp oils for infraction and refraction. Hair, especially orange, because it is in the middle of the visible light spectrum. Your eyes are orbs and some other things. The tears help the plasma gland and minerals and whatnot in your eye. Help read the data through water and crystals, salt, etc. Your nose, the hair antenna, mucous membrane, plasma will gland to the mucus more than, say, water, or so I believe. Your mouth has enamel, which is very similar to the superconductor your throne adapter attaches to. And divine, you can divinate the DNA through the inputs of your mouth, what you eat. And your superconductor enamel grinds these minerals and crystals for more accurate, complex data pools. I think I got everything on that one. Inner human, the corpus callosum, that's the gap in between here, capacitance gap. It can take and relieve free electrons, we'll say, with plasma-based whatever. Pineal gland, most of you know about that. That's a cone transponder at the back of the corpus callosum. And you have a cedar-shaped structure about here. It looks like a cedar tree that goes down to a trunk. It'd be kind of a condensing unit for your cone input, your pineal gland. Spine, data, concurrency. Kind of like a string of data going up and down that you're currently running. Your vertebrae, etc. Your heart would be the magnetic transponder collator with your magnetic surroundings. Your brain would receive, process, and collate that which was brought in through the corpus callosum. And I'm missing something. Pine, cedar, pine. you can see many references to conifers, I believe they're called. Something about the amber, I would reckon. More on the inner human, your guts would transpond because they have all the local DNA of everything you've eaten, all the minerals, etc. So that would transpond. Your stomach will grumble if you're talking about certain things that are profound. Hips, kind of like elephant ears. Post and plate to help you pick up on earth vibrations. And the feet, multiple bones, I forget how many, a ridiculous amount of bones, kind of like a array of antenna that we mentioned before. You could reference steely. They used to put items in the ground to uptake or wake up consciousness from beneath the surface. The more steelies they installed, the more dimensional consciousness would be upbrought. Close enough. The knees, those who would wick from beneath in the past for prioritized data and energy. Had a lot of knee problems. Death by cross. Circuit damage was done to the Savior's feet, nailed and crossed. Hands nailed, probably with iron. There's the Ferris again. Crown input would be interfered with by thorns, so they called them. He was up off the ground, so his circuit was incomplete. He was elevated, so he wouldn't be taking up plasma as efficiently, just what would come up the post. And his soul would float rather than go into the ground. If you knew the historic time point, you could check the magnetics of the land with a dip compass and be more specific. He was in bad company. He had bad people on both sides, so he'd be co-divinating their spiritual cooties. Pain, of course, would be an internal circuit overload. You'll know what it's like to have so much pain you can't stand it. A telestai, it means it's over, it's finished. But it's jokingly, the hard part's over for the Savior. Programming by baptism, you're coalescing with the baptizer's field data and field. If you're using water that has positively programmed waterborne plasma data, that helps. Pondering what, say, the baptizer tells you, firms and updates it within your programming system. Bathing also programs the water you use and have used to give it more holy spiritual cohesion. Prayer keeps the calm lines fluid, complex, and expansionary. Sympathy and compassion emotions rule at that point. And I think I cut it under the wire. And Amanda Grace of Amanda Grace Industries' husband Christopher tried to tell Rick from B2T that he saw Jesus pedaling a bike and he smokes from a long pipe, was my interpretation. I hope that all came out. They're not flowing through as quick today. Anyway, I love y'all. I'll have another one on before too long. Thanks. We all love you. Bye.